Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for one of the last games of the Oceania Sevens. This one's going to be Tonga taking on Australia. If Australia win this, they can still keep their hopes of winning the trophy alive. Whereas if Tonga win it, it will be their first win of this competition. But looking through at the two starting lineups, some very good players. My green screen's being very weird in the process. One moment, we'll rotate that, see whether or not it's going to behave better. I think I just made it like 10 times worse, so we'll just go with it for now. But it will be Australia receiving this kickoff. I feel like I'm going to move to the side just to see if I can slightly counter it. Not really. Hang on. We'll go like that. There we go. We got some weirdness, but this game just about to get underway between Tonga and also the Australians. And also we've got hi from Amelia. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. This match now underway. The Australians, they have got themselves the possession, currently passing it across, and it looks like they've got quite a few of the names that we haven't seen too much of throughout this season, or throughout this competition, in fact. That's a nice run forward. And someone who was absolutely massive for Tonga in their last match was Halafihi. He was brilliant. That's going to be actually a runaway here for Australia. And it looks like Burr is going to be able to go all the way and score the try early on a low iron back. Celestial Shunt there. Welcome into Livestream, mate. And it is already going to be the try to Australia. Now, the big thing is, Australia in their last match, or Fiji in their last match up against Tonga, were just dominant, is the best way of describing it. They were almost able to bring up the 50 points, and also big love, 10 out of 10. See Sebastian there as well. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're excited for the State of Origin a little bit later on tonight. We are going to be doing it over on the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. Make sure to check it out. It should be an exciting one. The camera angles at the moment, seems like we have got a couple cameras maybe not quite working the way that they want them to, but that is going to now make the score 7-0 in favour of Australia. So a good start to the match within a minute, already able to score. And also I saw you join our Instagram live earlier, says Amelia. I did indeed. I was on Instagram for a little bit of time, probably a rare occurrence where I did go on Instagram for a little bit of time. I was seeing whether or not we had the information for all of the lineups, or not the lineups, sorry, but all of the results of the sevens. But they haven't really published it that much. That one has gone out on the full from Australia. Now Tonga will be able to take the quick tap from halfway. But yeah, Halafihi was brilliant in the last matchup. Now it looks like Tonga, they will get their first attacking opportunity. They scored one try in their match up against the Fijians. They want to make sure that they can do better than that. Falau now passing it off. It is Paula Mahi. Halafihi, he bumped off about 7 or so players in the last match, and he's still doing it, Halafihi. Breaking through. Brilliant run. Still going, the big man. That is an absolutely sensational run. And now we'll be to the right-hand side for Tonga, looking for the draw and pass. Doesn't quite work out, and just being able to hang on to it now. Them back across Falau. Goes it off to Halafihi. Once again, dragged down by Morrison. A nice tackle made. Now trying to break the offload as well for Tonga. It's a drop ball, though, and unfortunately that has been pretty much the summary of the season, or this competition for Tonga, sadly, just putting the ball down just a little bit too often. And also go Fiji after this match. Celestial Shunt, yeah, that's going to be an awesome matchup. And that will be New Zealand taking on the Fijians. And why Samoa not in this tournament? I'm not actually too sure of the reasoning behind it. I don't know whether or not it was that they weren't invited. I'd like to think they would have been invited, though, Samoa, with the way that they've been playing. So whether or not they have got something else happening, I'm not too sure. But it would have been nice to see Samoa involved. It's good to see Tonga get themselves an opportunity before heading into the Commonwealth Games, getting a little bit of time under their belt. 3 minutes into this game currently, and it's fed in. That's a brilliant push from Tonga, and that's almost, yes, it is going to be the knock-on advantage, and Tonga now get the scrum 5 meters out. They haven't won a game up till this point of the competition. I mean, this would certainly be the biggest upset of the competition so far if they were able to pull it off. But first of all, they need at least one try, get them back into it. Of course, a massive forward pack. Halafihi in the front row alongside Tongatea, who was actually there for the Rugby World Cup 2019 squad. And then alongside them, it is Fualolo is the man on the other side. I did have to check that one. That is going to be the try for Tonga. And it's nicely done by Falau. Does end up going and scoring the try. In fact, I don't think it was Falau. I think it might have been Kalmavai. And one of the cameras is still not working. I think someone's left the lens on, as every time they go to it, it is just a pitch black screen. Nicely done by Kalmavai. And now another try for the Tongans this year. Nicely done there. We will go like that. It should be a relatively tough kick, so I'm not too sure whether or not this one will end up going over, but it would certainly be a handy one if he gets it right. Tell you what, that is a beautiful strike of the ball, and that will now make the score 7-all between the Tongans and also Australia. And also, can we see the game, please? Says Shushan. Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio shown gets us taken straight off YouTube and banned for 3 months. So unfortunately, as much as I'd love to be able to show it, they do just straight away take you down. But I can recommend the All Blacks YouTube channel, and a couple other YouTube channels do actually have the highlights of these matches as they take place. Asafi driven backwards there. Nicely done by Dunbar. Now passing off, and also how are they playing? Says Shoshana. It's decent from Tonga. Definitely the best game that I've seen from the commentary that we have done. Although their first game up against Fiji wasn't too bad either. That's going to be the knock-on against Australia now. Although they are going back for the initial penalty, wasn't quite on the mark. Taking the quick tab now, Stu Dunbar runs it at the line. Buzzes back across, nicely running forward, beautiful offload now. Ball on the outside, and oh no, a hammy. His hammy is gone, and that is going to be the end of the match for their number 5. It looks like their hamstring is completely twanged, and now Tonga have been able to get the ball back. The worst thing is, at this stage, Tonga have got the man advantage, so we'll see what they can do with it. Yeah, Australia, as soon as there's a stoppage, that man will be removed from the field because he has well and truly done the hammy. Unfortunately, he was running, and then it just ended up going wrong. It's a nice backline movement now for Tonga. Ball on the outside. Now it's going to be in the hands of Falau. Slings it back. Good jump on the ball there from, I believe that was the big number 10. Nicely done by Bird to get onto it. Currently 6 minutes through. And also we have got the Aweas playing pro clubs on FIFA 22. There's Amelia there as well. Australia, they've got the possession. They are still playing with 6 men, which is something they will have to keep in mind when trying to attack, because at the end of the day, if the gap opens up for the other side, you're in a bit more trouble. But now a nice run forward from Australia, losing the ball though. And now it is Tonga who have been able to take that ball back. And now they've got the men on the outside as well to the left if they want to use a beautiful low tackle made by Morrison. Nicely done by Halafihi. Unfortunately, though, just a little knock on the ground. Right. Well, I would assume we're going to see a player at least leave the field due to that injury. Halafihi will be disappointed with that one, putting it down. He doesn't make too many mistakes from what we've seen in the last little while for Tonga. And it will not be something that he wants to have too many of it in the Commonwealth Games as well. Like they're saying, the youngster for Australia, unfortunately, having to come off the field due to the injury to the hamstring. He's walking around. He's limping. Okay, the fact that he's able to limp around rather than having to be carried off, I think is a good sign. Although, of course, it's still not ideal. He's probably pulled something well and truly, but luckily he hasn't torn it at this stage, I wouldn't think, or else pretty much you can't put any weight on now. Morrison going off to Turner. That was close to flat, and it was forward. They have said as well, so now it is going to be halftime in this matchup, and it is 7-7 going into the second half. A very good half for Tonga, because normally at this point in time, I mean, in their game up against Fiji, they were down by 26 points at this point. They are still keeping it close, and a matchup that they have certainly got the potential of being able to win if they do get it right in the early stages of the second half. But I will mention the next match that is taking place. It will be at about 5:25 p.m. New Zealand time, so in about 13 minutes time, and that will be the matchup between New Zealand and Fiji. Then after that, we have got the Kiwi Lads Sport YouTube channel, which is actually the pinned comment. That is where we are going to be doing our State of Origin commentary. We will be going through the New South Wales Blues taking on the Queensland Maroons, and what should be a very exciting contest. We did see the first one, Queensland able to get themselves the victory there. New South Wales at Optus Stadium. They're going to need to get themselves the win to make it 1-1 heading into Suncorp, which is certainly not going to be an easy ground to win at. But 2 in a row would be what New South Wales need to be able to get themselves the victory in the State of Origin competition. But at the moment, Dietrich Roach, we hardly saw him in the first half. I believe that is because he wasn't on the field. And then alongside that, we didn't really see Matthew Gonzalez. So those are 2 big players. And to be fair, Henry Patterson, you could add him into that list as well of players who could make a massive impact for Australia throughout this contest. Whereas for Tonga, I think Halafihi is still the man that I'm looking straight at, and also try scorer from a little bit earlier on, Kamavai, did very nicely for himself and wouldn't mind being able to add another one to his list. And also we have got their first Origin game to be played outside of Australia. Perth is honoured to welcome the Aussies as well. So Sebastian, yeah, it's weird seeing it at Optus because it's considered as a home game for New South Wales, isn't it? If I'm not wrong. But I feel like they'll be slightly annoyed that that's their home game. But I think the first one, actually, now that I think about it, was a home game, wasn't it? So they won't be that annoyed. I would think it also, there you go. Tonga says uppy. And then, but who do you think is going to be winning it, Sebastian? Or that matchup? Do you think Queensland can make it 2-0 in the series, or do you think New South Wales will be able to make it 1-1 and head into the third as the decider? That's the thing. I hope it goes to the decider, so I hope New South Wales can get themselves the win here just for that reasoning. Now, second half underway between these two sides. Nicely done by Turner. He's landed awkwardly, and it is going to be going back onto the side of Tonga now. Oh, I said it's a knockback. Double blast of the whistle, and that is going to now be Halafihi going off the field for 10 minutes. First one was Sydney. Second is neutral. Third is Brisbane. And there's Sebastian, and also, hey man, Sebastian and Hamish. I got 5 yesterday and 4 today. Bad time and new. And after this match, New Zealand versus Fiji game finishes. Then Oceania Sevens ends, says Chushan. And we do still have 2 matches that are coming up for the women's side of things, but we will be covering the State of Origin a little bit later on the Kiwi Land Sport. That is a brilliant run, and straight away Australia going to be able to add another one to their try-scoring record. Boom, boom. That's Tonga. I need to take those points back. Sorry, Tonga. I got to kick you back down to 7, and we'll give that to Australia instead. And welcome in, Steve Smith. Hope you are doing well. GZ Sevens rugby matches are short. You go make a cup of tea and half the game's finished. Yeah, that's the thing. The talking during them, like I'm just flat out pretty much rambling, and it's just out and out tempo, I guess you could say. But hopefully the cup of tea is going to be a nice warm one. For what's the temperature like in Perth at the moment, Steve? Because I know that the game's being played at Optus, although you're a little bit out from Perth, aren't you? But yeah, is the temperature sitting all right? Currently here, I think we're about 7 degrees, which we'll take, to be honest, because it's been quite chilly last few days. Nicely done by Falau, moving up to 40 metres out now. And they are actually playing with 6 men at the moment. Halafihi having to go to the bin due to taking the man out in the air. Nice run from Fualolo. Tonga, they are actually, wait a minute, did Tonga, no, okay, the scoreboard's given Tonga the points, but it was Australia who were able to score it, so they are actually sitting on 14 points now in this matchup, and also say up again at 1 a.m. for 7:30 a.m. So here's Brandon there, but now trying to step his way through Falau. He kind of like, that's the thing, when you say Falau, you think of Falau Fakatava, and his haircut is pretty much identical to what we saw from Falau Fakatava last year. Another big run for Lolo. Oh, penalty going the way of Australia and taking it quickly. Now this is looking dangerous, and it will be the try. Once again, Birds doing well. And about 20 Celsius, I think, nice and sunny. Jeez, that's all right. When was the last time we had more than like 12? I'm just thinking, I don't think it's been this month anyway, but hopefully it gets warm soon. I think we're actually just coming into winter, maybe. I suck at seasons. Like, as you guys know, time zones are not my forte, but seasons are even worse for working out what months. I know that the order is summer, autumn, winter, spring, but I couldn't tell you what months are what. I know that summer's near the end of the year. So are we in winter? Maybe. And also, bloody hell, Steve, your winters are hotter than our summers, says Sebastian. There as well, but now Tonga making the sub. Now 10 minutes gone. 4 minutes left in this match. In Australia, I should add those points to the board as well. There we go. They're sitting on 21 points to 7. And also we have got the USA busy. I've done 10 this weekend, but quiet next weekend, says Brandon. And there's one, of course, international rugby coming back for us next weekend. We have got All Blacks versus Ireland, Australia versus England. That's going to be an awesome matchup. South Africa taking on Wales, Scotland versus Argentina, which should also be a very intriguing one. And then a couple of Pacific Island matchups, Fiji versus Tonga, I think it is, and then Samoa versus Australia. But that is actually in the process of me talking about all of those matches. There was another try scored by Australia, so nicely done there. We'll add some more points, and they move up to 26. Now, he looks familiar, and I talked about him earlier on, but now, of course, when I'm trying to think about it, the name doesn't quite come to my mind. I'm going to have to look through. Thomas Morrison it was, who was able to score that try. That one's gone over. Nice kick once again. And now Australia have got themselves the 26 points to 7. Flying Fijians versus Tonga next week, says Uppy. So, yeah, it's going to be an absolutely massive one. And, of course, Romania versus Italy is another one that is coming up. Wait, is that Italy? That is Italy, isn't it? Isn't it weird that Italy wear blue when their flag has green? Probably not really. It probably makes sense deep down. And also, come on, Tonga, mate. Jeepers. Yeah, 7-all at halftime to then be 26-7 with still another 2.5 minutes left on the clock is not where Tonga would have seen themselves. Halafihi, he's made his way back out onto the field, and you have to say that his yellow card was costly. But now a nice run. He has offloaded it. Vasaki able to take it now for Australia. And Bird trying to spread his wings, had to throw in that punt somewhere. Halafihi trying to turn the ball over, unable to do so. Now Morrison passes across. We haven't really seen Gonzalez in this match, but it is going to be Turner. Nice ball on the inside. It's a knock-on against Australia. And I'll say, yeah, but I'm pale like Hamish. Like Hamish, I'll fry. If I go out and it's upwards of 45 degrees in summer, I am quite pale. I don't know. I feel like I need to work on the tan at some stage, but winter's probably not my best time to be able to do it. I'll probably miss my chance until summer. And Wednesday night at 7:05, and also come on, Aussie, show them our power. There's Master Mal there. Currently sitting 12.5 minutes through, and also take it easy, boys. We don't want any injuries. Says Master Mal. That is true. We've already actually seen a hamstring injury for an Australian player who unfortunately might end up missing the Commonwealth Games, depending on how serious it is. Oh, that's a free kick to Australia, so a mistake from Tonga at scrum time, and also whiteboard commentator says Sebastian. That's the thing. I feel like we're getting those rarer now, or less. What is the word that I'm looking for? Less commonly. Oh, that was a bit of a two-handed push from Morrison. The referee says it's fine. Oh, no, now he spotted it, and it is the penalty to Tonga once again. They've got 1 minute to try and go through. But, yeah, I thought we would get a lot more. Oh, the referee was in the way of the Tongan player. Yeah, I thought we'd get a lot more abuse thrown at us, but it seems to be going all right. Ireland play on Wednesday night. They do indeed up against the Māori All Blacks, and then they have to play again up against New Zealand this weekend. Folau almost just dropping that ball onto his boot, and now Turner's able to turn it over, and he will score the try between the sticks as well. And also we've got boom, 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 boom. There we go. Up to 33 points for Australia now over Tonga once this kick goes over. And also after Fiji, or go Fiji after this match, says up here. It's going to be an awesome one to see. Fiji versus New Zealand, and that is coming straight after this match. And also that's like the Brumbies Mull. And there as well says Nancy Williams, and also like shade of brown commentator says Mr. Mel with the fire emoji, and also Australia winning sweet. And I believe with that one going over, there's some sort of stipulation that could say that Australia might be able to get themselves the trophy if Fiji beat New Zealand. That's a very loud buzzer anytime that goes off once the timer hits 0. But that is full time, 33 points to 7. So what we will be doing now, ladies and gentlemen, is we are popping straight over to our next live stream, which is going to be New Zealand versus Fiji. We will be starting that one up in about 2 or 3 minutes. And yeah, be sure to check that one out as well. And also Ireland tour will be good. Hopefully they win 3-0. There's Master Mel there. And also, so question for you, Hamish. What do you think in your sleep? I'm actually an avid or a vivid dreamer, which sounds really weird. But I can remember a lot of my dreams, which is like something that some people don't have the ability to do. But I think that's just because I talk so much that I have to have a good memory, or else then I forget half the things that I say. I think that's the go behind it. And also, Anazi Brumby's got robbed by the ref. We can't beat the ref, says Master Mel. And there as well. But yeah, normally dreaming, I have woken up before. Or in fact, I've been sleeping and I did the commentary myself while sleeping. My mum actually said that she thought I was talking on the phone. It was 5 a.m. So she was like, why are you on the phone at 5 a.m.? It seems like a weird time. I was like, nah, I wasn't. I was just dreaming about rugby. And yeah, commentary was rolling. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We will quickly be popping over to our next live stream, Fiji versus New Zealand. And we will see you all in a very short moment.